Hello everyone, in today's video group now we'll talk about the history of pop music in 5 defining decades: the 1960s, the 1970s, the 1980s, the 1990s, and the 2000s. So for my part in today's video, I will talk about the 1960s pop music. In North America and Europe, the decades were particularly revolutionary in terms of popular music, continuing the shift away from the traditional pop that began in the 1950s. The 1960s saw the evolution of rock and the beginnings of album era. At the beginning of the 1960s, pop and rock and roll trends of the 1950s continued. Nevertheless, the rock and roll of the decade before started to merge into a more international electrical variant. In the early 1960s, rock and roll in its purest form was gradually overtaken by pop rock, beat, psychedelic rock, blues rock, and folk rock, which had grown in popularity. The country and folk influence style associated with the latter half of 1960s rock music spawned a generation of popular singer-songwriters who wrote and performed their own work. Towards the decade end, genres such as rock pop, sunshine pop, bubblegum pop, and progressive rock started to grow popular, with the latter two finding greater succeed in the following decade. Furthermore, the 1960s saw funk and soul music rising in popularity. Rhythm and blues in general remained popular. The fusion of R&B, gospel, and original rock and roll was to succeed until the mid part of the decade. Aside from the popularity of rock and R&B music in the 1960s, Latin American as well as Jamaican and Cuban music achieved a degree of popularity around the decade. With the genres such as bossa nova, the cha-cha-cha, ska, and calypso being popular. From a classical point of view, the 1960s were also an important decade as we saw the development of electronic, experimental, jazz, and contemporary classical music, notably minimalism and free improvisation. In Asia, various trends marked the population music of the 1960s. In Japan, the decade saw the rise in popularity of several Western popular music groups, such as the Beatles. The seeds of rock music and bands in Japan started a new genre, known as group sounds, which was popular in the latter half of the decade. In South America, genres such as bossa nova, nueva canción, and nueva ola started to rise. Rock music began leaving its mark and achieved succeed in the 1960s. Additionally, salsa grew popular towards the end of the decade. In the 1960s, cumbia entered Chile and left a long-lasting impact on tropical music in that country. Thank you.
Hello teacher, my name is Han Chong Nghĩa. Today I will talk about the 1970s era of pop music. In the ever-changing world of music, various subgenres constantly develop. However, amid the swift rise and fall of smaller pop styles in the 1970s, a kind of unique music called power pop emerged. This genre smoothly combines elements of punk and rock with traditional pop, creating a distinct sound embraced by bands like The Romantic and Cheap Trick. It's easily listenable and often cheerful in tone, accompanied by vibrant music with a visual featuring a lively color palette and distinctive dance moves, making it appealing to a large audience, especially the younger listeners. At the same time, the era experienced a blend of country pop is a harmonious mix of pure pop and rock. The enchanting vocal pairs with a melody that blends pop seamlessly with natural country elements create a truly captivating and alluring musical style, showcased by artists like Jackson 5, Elton John, and Queen. Each artist adds their own touch, with Elton John exploring everything from ballads to arena rock such as Benny and the Jets or Don't Go Breaking My Heart, and Queen establishing dominance in post arena rock and pop rock. During these times, the Jackson 5 made a lasting impact with memorable hits such as I Want You Back and ABC. In the midst of musical diversity, certain works proved highly influential, shaping music history. Sweetheart of Rodeo, The Judas Place of Sin, River's Angel by Grandma Passions, Autopan by Kraftwerk, No Women No Cries by Bob Marley and the Wailers, God Save the Queen by the Sex Pistols, Ambient One by Music of Airports by Brian Eno. From the power pop to the timeless hit of the Jackson 5 in the influential works of Kraftwerk, Bob Marley, the Sex Pistols, and Brian Eno, their impact endures. It a testament to the lasting power of creativity in the ever-evolved symphony of music.
Hello everyone, my name is Jung Woo An, and today I'm here to talk to you about pop music in the 80s. So, pop music has evolved through many generations and over many years. However, the 80s is probably the most successful era of pop music. It has been through some changes in the 70s before, when the disco music were out of fashion a decade ago and were replaced by new kinds of discos like Europo disco, Italo disco, post disco, and new wave. Along with that is the appearance of electronic dance and dance pop, were the factors which make the pop music become more famous and popular and create a new kinds of music now we call the modern music. So, the modern music in the 80s were leads to the appearance of many famous pop stars like Bruce Springsteen, Stevie Wonder, Phil Collins, and especially Michael Jackson. Along with that is the appearance of a new television channels such as MTV, which create opportunities to make pop music closer to the audience and help the singer and artists become more popular. So, the person that were most stand out and were most popular among them is Michael Jackson. So why he become so famous is because of his all-time hit songs like Billie Jeans, Black or White, Thriller, Heal the World, and many others. So there's something in common about his songs, is that they all have catchy melodies, easy to learn lyrics, fit with the younger generation trends, and so easily won people heard at that time. Michael also have his unique firing singing style and some special dance move that only him can think of, which also make him become the king of pop. Nowadays, when he was gone, he's still the most famous music artist in the world. So there are another kinds of pop music at that time in the 80s, were different from vibrant and firing pop music for young generation. That is a kind of slow and easy to listen pop music, were performed by some legendary divas like Elton John, Whitney Houston, and Madonna. So these singers have something special, is that they have a strong and powerful vocal voice. So with their songs like a Preach, Papa Don't Preach, Circle of Life, I Have Nothing, these singers has created their own personality through their songs and become famous through the audience by their voice, by their voice, and their reputation along with that grow and reach to the world. But that doesn't mean that their songs is for older people. Singer like Madonna have a unique performing way, so we can never guess what performance she gave us on the stage at that day because of her wild style and her unique way of singing, which make her become interesting and stand out from the others. So overall, what we can say about pop music in the 80s, the 80s pop music has changed the music scene at that time, and it also a foundations to nowadays modern music, and it is a irreplaceable part of music at that time. So pop music, from now we can say, the 80s is the golden era of pop and modern music. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Nguyễn Thảo Quyên and now I will share a little bit about the decade of 1990s in the pop music industry. And as you may know or you may not know, 1990s is the time when pop music is most prosperous. Those are the years when pop music is very famous. Almost everyone listens to it and it's like a golden era of pop music. In these years, there are a few musical bands that pop up and they really shine, and there are a few names that was very famous, and until this present days, they are still stay in the heart of the fans of pop music. The appearance of these musical bands, they add new shades and new shapes into the pop music industry, which was getting a little boring during that days. They began to focus on choreography, and they also focus on their appearances. So the singers would appear like more attractive, and in a result, they attracted more teenage audience. And there are a few big names that I will share with you, and you may already heard of them, which are example, Michael Jackson. You know Michael Jackson, right? Michael Jackson, he was like the king of pop music, and he almost rules the world of music in the period of time of 1990s to 1995. And until right now, Michael Jackson's dance moves or his person still inspires a lot of people that working in the music industry. Another bright name is Whitney Houston. She is one of the artists that was affected by the trend of pop mixing with R&B. And there's one song of her that is very famous until this day, that is I Will Always Love You. And Celine Dion is also a bright name in the late 1990s. We have Britney Spears, and we have Christina Aguilera. They are very successful, and some of their big songs are Baby One More Time and Genie in a Bottle. Those are about the solo singer. We have a few bands that is very successful, such as Spice Girls. They were significantly successful in the Northern America, and they are the girl bands that have the highest income in the Northern America. And Backstreet Boys are also very famous during that time of the 1990s. As you can see, the 1990s is the most prosperous years of pop music. They inspires a lot of young people nowadays, and the songs that produced during that time, they still have effect until today. And that is everything I want to share about the pop music in 1990s. I hope you guys have a little bit more knowledge about the music industry. Thank you for listening.
Hello teacher and hello everyone. My name is Ngọc Nhĩ and today our group's topic is talk about pop music through the years. And my part is talk about pop music in the years of 2000s to present. Since the 2000s, pop music began to bring out countless changes as each artist wanted to create their own personality. Names that make an impression on young people include Blink-182 or The Small Things, Simple Plan, and Fall Out Boy. And while teen pop is becoming less and less popular during the first decade of the 2000s, pop music began to be influenced by hip-hop, R&B, and most noticeable in artists like Rihanna or Lady Gaga, and most recently Ed Sheeran's great album, No Sid Collaborations Project, a great album with a mix of EDM, hip-hop, R&B. And it's also very important to record that pop music has the ability to most clearly express changes in society and human life in different periods. For example, there are now more and more works appearing about the feminist of LGBT movements or songs calling for the protection of the environment in nature. In other words, this is a change of music that is be able to meet the rapidly changing tastes of the listener, and whatever listener need, the pop music will have it. And nowadays, the means that that listener used to listen to music has changed a lot, especially online music channel now only includes songs that enter in the charts, and this can help us determine which genres of music are becoming more popular. For example, songs for the older people are less likely to become hits because people in this age are often reluctant to play them. Online music and tend to be less angry. The more negative tone in today's pop music may also reflect changes in society, and even if attitudes towards political events are not as overtly expressed as pop songs are posed, they can still affect the overall mood of the songs. That's the end of my part, and thank you for listening. Hope you will have a great day.